The Detroit Lions just made a sneaky good move that if you didn't know, you didn't know. And this isn't the one that usually makes headlines or anything like that. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and throw this up there, but then I'm going to talk about why this is smart and why it's so desperately needed with our organization. And I think you'll hear me saying this, and I think you'll all agree with me of some of the problems that have presented themselves to this Lions organization over the years. And this is another attempt to address that. So, the Detroit Lions went out and hired a new head athletic trainer for the 2023 season. The man they hired, his name is Michael Sundin. He's their new head athletic trainer, and the team continues to seek upgrades in their training department. Now, this is a big deal. This is really, really big. Sundin is a guy who he's replacing Kevin Baston, who's the head trainer for two different spans for the Lions, 14 to 19, and then again in 21 and 22. And we're not sure why they're moving on from him, this article says, but the answer they also say in the article, if you'll come down and read this with me, the Lions, who were the sixth most injured team in 2022 and the third most in 2021 per adjusted games lost. That's why they're hiring a new person. And I understand that injuries aren't always straightforward. I know that sometimes it is just fluke things. But we're injured a lot, everybody. And I think we know this. And we go out there and we get a guy, Sundin. He's been the assistant athletic trainer for the Broncos since 2014. He's been in the game a long time. He knows what he's doing. This is also coming off a report. The NFLPA releases report cards for each team based on surveys given before the 2022 season. The Lions received low grades for their food service and nutrition, a D-, and their training room, a D+. Man, that's not good. And what we hear is that the Lions, Sheila is giving these guys everything they need to succeed. This is one area where we were dropping the ball big time. So we're going to hire in Michael Sundin, and he is going to come along with Fisher, who we hired earlier. Remember, he was out in Arizona. He has his own physical therapy thing out there. That was a really great hire. We did a video on that. But in case you're not believing me on what's going on with the Lions, I want to give you a little breakdown of how much money we've lost, how many games we've lost because of injury. It has been ridiculous over the past couple years. So I just want to show you a little bit of a depth chart, and we'll just go and we'll take a look at it. We can't count Jameson Williams because he came to us hurt. Okay, fine. Quintez Cephas, wide receiver. He's barely played because he's been hurt his entire career. He's been hurt his entire career. Josh Reynolds has missed games here and there. Like, this is all pretty normal stuff for wide receivers. How about Jonah Jackson's battled through injuries? Frank Ragnow has played most of the last 2 years hurt. I think bringing a guy like, I think Fisher is really good for Frank, like the PT program and getting him ready to play for the season. Vaitai back. He's missed most of the last 2 years. All right. DeAndre Swift, don't even get me started with Swifty. We all talk about how good Swift is if he could just stay healthy. But where we're really going to feel this is on the defensive side of the ball. Josh Paschal missed, I'd say half of his rookie year, never really had the opportunity to catch up. Levi Onwuzurike has been hurt for the first 2 years of his NFL career. And Dan Campbell just talked with somebody on the media. I think I read it on Fansided, where he's like, yeah, I mean, we talked to him. It seems like the rehab's going well, but with the back, you just never know. If the body will allow it, he'll absolutely have a chance. Oh, my goodness. That's not a good update. That's not good. All right. And then you sit here and you sign Charles Harris to a $30 million contract and Romeo Okwara to a more than $30 million contract. And he's been hurt most of this past year. Romeo Okwara tears an Achilles. Like, these are real injuries. Like, these aren't small injuries. And then the defense has been like Achilles tear central. That tells me something's wrong. You should not have this many players tearing Achilles. Maybe it can be a fluke accident. There should not be that many players with the same injury. You have Romeo Okwara with a torn Achilles. You have Tracy Walker with a torn Achilles. Jeff Okudah with a torn Achilles. And what do they all have in common? They all did it in the first 4 or 5 games of the season. That's not normal. That's not right. That shows that there's something being missed. That shows that there's something being missed. Maybe they need to get Mr. Universe, St. Brown's dad, right? Maybe they need to get him in here and do some of the weight training stuff. We all remember, if you were watching Hard Knocks, this is my reference to it. After Kevin Durant tore his Achilles, like, you ever see Kevin Durant doing calf raises? Do more calf raises. I'm not saying it fixes everything. All right. Jerry Jacobs, torn ACL. Like, ladies and gentlemen, this is serious injury city. And I understand that you could look at a lot of NFL rosters and you could see something like this, but ours is more. It's just more. It's worse here. So when we look at this, all I have to say on it is this is a great move and something that we've been really needing to do for quite some time now. I'm glad they didn't just go the PT side of it, but also the head athletic training side of it. Not only preparing the body after an injury, but also before an injury in the preventative side of it. And two guys that are smart, they know what they're doing. They're going to be able to work together. They're going to be able to set up a training room, because from what we've heard, all resources needed are being provided by this ownership group. And I think when you have guys in here that are like, no, this is what we need. We need this, and then we need this, that they're going to provide it. And then you're going to have players that are going to be much healthier throughout the year. I think some of it too is just getting on the same talent level to an extent. And it was amazing last year how when we started winning, the injuries started slowing down. It's amazing how that works when you bring the game to your opponent. But I will say, over the last 2 years, the amount of injuries that we've had is just obscene. I think another thing that is helpful, if you're still watching this video, that I haven't even thought about, they're replacing the field. They have a new field coming in to Ford Field, and I don't know. I haven't read any reports on if that's in Allen Park. I would imagine they would keep a very similar playing surface. They're also thinking about moving out of Allen Park to create a bigger training facility. But there's a lot of things that are being talked about right now. You have to be excited about this as a Lions fan. You have to. So I'm really happy to see that they're taking seriously, not only in the front office, but also in the coach's room and also in the training staff. This is a team that understands there can't be any loose ends, weak sides of things. So I'm happy to hear it. I'm happy to hear it. I hope you are too. Let me know in your comments below. Am I making too big of a deal of this, or do the facts kind of show a big deal needs to be made? Looking forward to a healthy Detroit Lions team, healthier than normal, than what we're used to for the Lions this upcoming year, and we'll see if it makes a big difference. We really will. Also, guys like this are huge for making sure that Jerry Jacobs, Jameson Williams, Romeo Okwara, Jeff Okudah, Tracy Walker can stay on the field after those massive injuries. I just keep thinking about more reasons I love this. Then if you feel like there's a perceived weakness, take care of it. That's what they did. Leave your comments below. Let me know. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.